Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Put a coat on. Cover the surface of. Furnish with a surface. Appear or become visible. Make a showing. I hope the list key is going to surface again. Information that has become public. The facts had been brought to the surface. Come to the surface. The outermost level of the land or sea. Earthquakes originate far below the surface. A device that provides reactive force when in motion relative to the surrounding air, can lift or control a plane in flight. A superficial aspect as opposed to the real nature of something. It was not what it appeared to be on the surface. On the surface. Surface materials of the moon. The extended two-dimensional outer boundary of a three-dimensional object. They skimmed over the surface of the water. The outer boundary of an artifact or a material layer constituting or resembling such a boundary. There is a special cleaner for these surfaces. Put a coat on. Cover the surface of. Furnish with a surface. Coat the cake with chocolate. A thin layer covering something. A second coat of paint. Form a coat over. Dirt had coated her face. Growth of hair or wool or fur covering the body of an animal. An outer garment that has sleeves and covers the body from shoulder down, worn outdoors. Cover or provide with a coat. Start running, functioning, or operating. Move towards. Appear or become visible. Make a showing. Develop in a positive way. Occur or become available. Bulge outward. Come out of. The words seem to come out by themselves. Break out. Be issued or published. The new Woody Allen film hasn't come out yet. Make oneself visible. Take action. Take a place in a competition, often followed by an ordinal. To state openly and publicly one's homosexuality. Come off. Be made known. Be disclosed or revealed. Appear or become visible. Make a showing. Result or end. Be or become visible or noticeable. Appear or become visible. Make a showing. Find by digging in the ground. Discover the location of. Determine the place of. Find by searching or examining. Be shown or be found to be. Bend or lay so that one part covers the other. Turn up your collar. Appear or become visible. Make a showing. Of textures, full of small openings or gaps. An open texture. Not defended or capable of being defended. An open city. Possibly accepting or permitting. Open to interpretation. With no protection or shield. Open to the weather. Not sealed or having been unsealed. The letter was already open. Openly straightforward and direct without reserve or secretiveness. An open and trusting nature. Affording free passage or view. Open waters. Start to operate or function or cause to start operating or functioning. Open a business. A clear or unobstructed space or expanse of land or water. Finally broke out of the forest into the open. Ready or willing to receive favorably. Used of mouth or eyes. Keep your eyes open. Spread out or open from a closed or folded state. Open the map. Become available. An opportunity opened up. Afford access to. The door opens to the patio. Open and observable, not secret or hidden. Open ballots. Where the air is unconfined. The concert was held in the open air. Affording unobstructed entrance and exit, not shut or closed. An open door. Become open. The door opened. Information that has become public. All the reports were out in the open. Make available. This opens up new possibilities. Cause to open or to become open. Mary opened the car door. Not brought to a conclusion, subject to further thought. An open question. Accessible to all. Open season. Affording free passage or access. Open drains. A tournament in which both professionals and amateurs may play. Begin or set in action, of meetings, speeches, recitals, etc. He opened the meeting with a long speech. Display the contents of a file or start an application as on a computer. Having no protecting cover or enclosure. An open boat. Make the opening move. Kasparov opened with a standard opening. Not having been filled. The job is still open. Not requiring union membership. An open shop employs non-union workers. Open to or in view of all. An open protest. Ready for business. The stores are open. Set theory, of an interval that contains neither of its endpoints. Without undue constriction as from e.g. tenseness or inhibition. The clarity and resonance of an open tone. Have an opening or passage or outlet. The bedrooms open into the hall. Result or issue. Start running, functioning, or operating. Come up, of celestial bodies. Originate or come into being. Move toward, travel toward something or somebody or approach something or somebody. Get something or somebody for a specific purpose. Gather, money or other resources, together over time. Gather or bring together. Come to the surface. Move upward. Be mentioned. Bring forth, usually something desirable. Get up and out of bed. An increase in cost. They asked for a 10% rise in rates. Return from the dead. Christ is risen. Theology, the origination of the Holy Spirit at Pentecost. A movement upward. They cheered the rise of the hot air balloon. Rise up. Increase in volume. Come up, of celestial bodies. The sun also rises. The amount a salary is increased. The act of changing location in an upward direction. Go up or advance. A wave that lifts the surface of the water or ground. Move to a better position in life or to a better job. Rise in rank or status. Come into existence. Take on form or shape. Increase in value or to a higher point. An upward slope or grade, as in a road. The car couldn't make it up the rise. Take part in a rebellion. Renounce a former allegiance. The property possessed by a slope or surface that rises. Increase in price or value. Become more extreme. Come to the surface. Move upward. Rise to one's feet. A growth in strength or number or importance. Exert oneself to meet a challenge. Rise to a challenge. Take part in a rebellion. Renounce a former allegiance. Come to the surface. Stand up on the hind legs, of quadrupeds. The outermost level of the land or sea. A device that provides reactive force when in motion relative to the surrounding air, can lift or control a plane in flight. A device that provides reactive force when in motion relative to the surrounding air, can lift or control a plane in flight. A device that provides reactive force when in motion relative to the surrounding air, can lift or control a plane in flight. Of mines and mining, worked from the exposed surface. An open-pit iron mine. Of mines and mining, worked from the exposed surface. Open-cast mining. Constructed at ground level. Grade constructed accesses to the freeway. On or above the surface of the ground. Above-ground nuclear testing. A recording of a song that was first recorded or made popular by somebody else. They made a cover of a Beatles song. Form a cover over. The grass covered the grave. Clothe, as if for protection from the elements. Cover your head. A fixed charge by a restaurant or nightclub over and above the charge for food and drink. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The cover concealed their guns from enemy aircraft. Travel across or pass over. The caravan covered almost 100 miles each day. Span an interval of distance, space or time. The period covered the turn of the century. A covering that serves to conceal or shelter something. Under cover of darkness. Include in scope. Include as part of something broader. Have as one's sphere or territory. This should cover everyone in the group. Fire that makes it difficult for the enemy to fire on your own individuals or formations. Artillery provided covering fire for the withdrawal. Put something on top of something else. Cover the meat with a lot of gravy. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. The protective covering on the front, back, and spine of a book. Make up for shortcomings or a feeling of inferiority by exaggerating good qualities. Bedding that keeps a person warm in bed. He pulled the covers over his head and went to sleep. Hide from view or knowledge. The president covered the fact that he bugged the offices in the White House. Be responsible for reporting the details of, as in journalism. The cub reporter covered New York City. Covering for a hole, especially a hole in the top of a container. Put the cover back on the kettle. Act on verbally or in some form of artistic expression. The course covered all of Western civilization. Sit on, eggs. The female covers the eggs. Protect by insurance. The insurance won't cover this. Cover as if with a shroud. Copulate with a female, used especially of horses. The horse covers the mare. A false identity and background, especially one created for an undercover agent. Her new name and passport or cover for her next assignment. Be responsible for guarding an opponent in a game. Be sufficient to meet, defray, or offset the charge or cost of. Is this enough to cover the check? Help out by taking someone's place and temporarily assuming his responsibilities. She is covering for our secretary who is ill this week. Hold within range of an aimed firearm. Invest with a large or excessive amount of something. She covered herself with glory. Maintain a check on, especially by patrolling. The second officer covered the top floor. Play a higher card than the one previously played. Smith covered again. Protect or defend, a position in a game. He covered left field. Provide for. The grant doesn't cover my salary. Provide with a covering or cause to be covered. Cover her face with a handkerchief. Spread over a surface to conceal or protect. This paint covers well. To take an action to protect against future problems. Count the cash in the drawer twice just to cover yourself. Give a certain impression or have a certain outward aspect. This appears to be a very difficult problem. Be issued or published. Did your latest book appear yet? Come into being or existence, or appear on the scene. Homo sapiens appeared millions of years ago. Seem to be true, probable, or apparent. It appears that the weather in California is very bad. Appear as a character on stage or appear in a play, etc. Gielgud appears briefly in this movie. Come into sight or view. He suddenly appeared at the wedding. Present oneself formally, as before a judicial authority. He had to appear in court last month. Knowledge that is available to anyone. Knowledge that is available to anyone. Travel up. We ascended the mountain. Come up, of celestial bodies. Jupiter ascends. Move to a better position in life or to a better job. She ascended from a life of poverty to one of great renown. Appear to be moving upward, as by means of tendrils. Become king or queen. She ascended to the throne after the king's death. Go along towards, a river's source. The boat ascended the Delaware. Go back in order of genealogical succession. Inheritance may not ascend linearly. Slope upwards. The path ascended to the top of the hill. Travel up. Go up a ladder. Go upward with gradual or continuous progress. Burn completely. Be consumed or destroyed by fire. Move towards. Increase in value or to a higher point. Move upward. Be erected, built, or constructed. An abstract place usually conceived as having depth. A simile has at least 2 layers of meaning. Single thickness of usually some homogeneous substance. A hen that lays eggs. A relatively thin sheet-like expanse or region lying over or under another. Make or form a layer. Layer the different colored sands. Thin structure composed of a single thickness of cells. Any clever maneuver. He would stoop to any device to win a point. An emblematic design, especially in heraldry. He was recognized by the device on his shield. An instrumentality invented for a particular purpose. The device is small enough to wear on your wrist. Any ornamental pattern or design, as in embroidery. Something in an artistic work designed to achieve a particular effect. A distinct feature or element in a problem. He studied every facet of the question. A smooth surface, as of a bone or cut gemstone. The feelings expressed on a person's face. The visual percept of a region. A distinct feature or element in a problem. A characteristic to be considered. The beginning or duration or completion or repetition of the action of a verb. Form the boundary of, be contiguous to. Bound by contract. A light, self-propelled movement upwards or forwards. Spring back. Spring away from an impact. Covered or wrapped with a bandage. An injury bound in fresh gauze. The greatest possible degree of something. What he did was beyond the bounds of acceptable behavior. Usually followed by to, governed by fate. Bound to happen. Headed or intending to head in a certain direction, often used as a combining form as in college-bound students. Children bound for school. Place limits on, extent or amount or access. Move forward by leaps and bounds. The horse bounded across the meadow. A line determining the limits of an area. The line or plane indicating the limit or extent of something. Bound by an oath. A bound official. Confined by bonds. Bound and gagged hostages. Confined in the bowels. He is bound in the belly. Held with another element, substance or material in chemical or physical union. Secured with a cover or binding, often used as a combining form. Bound volumes. The greatest possible degree of something. A line determining the limits of an area. The line or plane indicating the limit or extent of something. The line or plane indicating the limit or extent of something.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.